we were hoping for one of the relegated teams, if I'm honest, because it's great to get a, which will be a fabulous crowd at Ellen Road really for the first match, and television as well. It has all the ingredients really. I think Wolves, along with Blackburn and Bolton, will be favourites with coming straight down, and I think Wolves have kept most of the players. So it's good. We've had a lot of players, a lot of turnover in the summer really. We've lost a couple that I didn't really want to lose either, we've been a bit unfortunate, but that's how life is. But the lads who've come in have done well. We're still looking to improve the squad as well, as and when we can do that. And it's an optimistic time. I think every manager's optimistic at this time.
I know there's a couple of positions at least you'd like to strengthen. Are you any further on with that?
No, well, not really. No, we have to, as every manager does, we have to move players out to provide the wages, etc. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to balance the budget that I have. We've had takeover talk all summer, which hasn't materialised yet. So I'm just getting on with trying to win games really, and doing the best I can with what there is. And that's what we're doing. We are a bit thin on the ground squad-wise. If we get 2 or 3 injuries at the same time, but I think most clubs are like that. You need a bit of luck with the injuries, especially early on in the season. We have got a difficult start. I think if you look at our programme, the first couple of months, probably the most difficult on paper. But you don't win leagues on paper, so it could work the other way. If we manage to get a good start, it would be even better for us because. I think we've got all the top teams early doors and the fancied teams, so I think it whets the appetite really. I think it's going to be a cracking league again, and I think everybody will go into it, looking to try and get in that top 6. I think the fans are realistic. I think they've taken really well to me, and I'm really pleased with that. That's one of the pluses for me. I think they at the time probably wanted me more than I wanted them, and it's been good. They know how hard I'm working to put a team out that they can be proud of. I think they've enjoyed pre-season. They know that there are certain restrictions that we as every manager has, that we have to adhere with. But my objective is to try and put the best team I can out, whatever is thrown at me, and that's what I'm working at. Saturday's result's not going to deter me whether we're going to do well or not. I just think it's the consistent side. What we're trying to do here is put a side out that's consistent week after week. Yeah, you'll win some, lose some, whatever. But we can't be losing 7-3 one week and winning 1-0 the next, and that you don't do anything in that situation. So we're trying to get a little bit more consistency in. I've been delighted with the standard, the quality of players, and I think they've all lifted themselves. And I'm talking about people that have been in the Championship for quite a few years. And I think they look even more hungry than I expected. People like Norris and Varney and Green, and they've all done it. What I think about Paddy Kenny? I wouldn't swap Paddy Kenny for anybody in the Premier League, let alone the Championship. So we're very, by any standard, that's probably my best signing of the summer. And then we've got other lads who come into the front as well. So it's a happy training camp. We've just got to push on now, and we're gonna have days where things are wrong, because with so many players you're going to get that, but it's trying to get that consistency. And the one consistent fact about Leeds is that we're going to have major crowds home and away every week, which is a massive help. And the players I've brought in, I've been delighted how they've taken that on board, and they really relished last weekend's game. 18,000 people against Shrewsbury. No disrespect to Shrewsbury, it was a fabulous turnout for the first round of a cup game. And you could tell the players on the Friday, the day before the game, were looking forward to it, But whereas I think last year there was a little bit of trepidation having to go out in front of the crowd with certain players. You've got to be that type of player that relishes the big stage and the big crowds, and I think we've found that with the players we've got. I think they're relishing it.
Just finally from me then, Neil, what is the goal this season? What are the expectations?
Well, my goal is to get promotion. I mean, everybody knows I would have been in Cornwall now if it wasn't for that opportunity of getting the number 8th promotion, and that's what I've been after right from day one. Yes, I'd like a few more bits of quality here and there, but what I'm going to do is do the best I can with what I've got to try and get where I want to be. That's what it is for me.
Neil, you mentioned the takeover. Has and all the speculation surrounding that, has it been unsettling at all?
Well, it's been difficult in the respect that some days I've been talking of spending a lot of money on a player, and the next day I'm looking at the free transfers. You know, it's changed every week. It seems to have changed every week what's actually happening and what isn't. But you know, it's just expectations really. As a manager, you know, I've got to put the best team out I can. So if the money's there, I'll spend it. If it's not there, I'll look for what I can get without spending. And I think, to put it in perspective, I think we've spent on 10 players what Hull have spent on one striker. Which isn't bad, is it really, in comparison?
The problem is, though, you haven't got the money at the moment.
Well, we've got 10 players. I'm not going to decry that. I know what people would want me to say, but you know, I've got 10 players. I'd like another couple of quality players, especially with losing Snodgrass. And I have to work at getting whatever I can in for whatever means. But rest assured, whoever we play against will know they've been in a game. I think that's what I try and do in football matches, and nothing's changed, whatever financial situation is, and whoever owns the club.
Presumably, though, you would want things to be settled sooner rather than later.
Well, I'm now sort of, what's the word? I accept anything what's happening at the moment now. I'm just hardened to all the facts. I would imagine we'll be having this conversation around Christmas time about the takeover, and then probably March, and by the end of the season it might be sorted. I think it would be my biggest ever achievement if I got promotion with the squad at the moment, but I wouldn't write it off. It's amazing what you can do if you can get on a roll. You know, that's why the teams coming up have all got an advantage early doors, because they're used to winning, and it is a habit. You can be, you know, it's a horrible habit to have the other one if you can't stop losing. So it's just trying to get the happy medium. All I'm trying to do is put a team out that I know week in, week out, to within 10% how they're going to play. Last year it was a toss of a coin, 50% how they were going to play in my eyes. So I never knew what we were going to do. Whereas, you know, yes, we're not going to rip the league up, but I think we can give everybody a good game home and away. And with the backing that we have away from home as well, you know, I think it's great to be going to big places now with a massive following and giving it a go, really. And that's what we'll do everywhere. We'll try and win the games.
Yeah, it seems clear that you've got an awful lot of faith in the lads who are here and the guys who've come in.
Well, I looked round the other day at him and I said to him, you know, I judge my team basically on who do you want in the old trenches with you, and I think I'd have them all around me in the trenches. There's, you know, I don't think I'd worry about any of them being behind me. Whereas normally, you know, you've got 5 or 6 where you don't know, it's a toss of a coin. But I think a manager, if you can, you know, if you could get 10 players that you know what they're going to do week in, week out, you've got a great chance. Usually you've got about 8 players you know what they're going to do. You've got 2 who are going to be within 20-25%, and you've got 1 who you haven't got a clue but who'll win you the game. That's how I see, you know. But last year we didn't have a nucleus aside of people that I knew what they were going to do. It was sort of 9 out of the 11 I didn't know what they were going to do. So you can't have that situation. It's too insecure, you know. It's too whatever the word is. It's not consistent enough.